aggression just seems like a lot for
I will
someone
never
that
speak
just...
to you again, ever.
Today, things get bumpy on the bus to Steamboat. Party of 5, your table is ready in the Boom Boom Room.
There was a 5-some?
What the hell?
And Are You the Ones? Remy and Kari are here to break it all down.
This is just another reason why, like, love is always me over.
This is your reality check.
But I'm definitely feeling like FOMO right now.
It is Thirsty Thursday here at Reality Check, because Thursdays are our Fridays. I'm Lindsay Rodriguez. Welcome to Reality Check. We've got a big show today, and joining me for all the fun is People.com writer and reporter Jodi Gugliemi. Welcome.
Hello.
It is always a pleasure having you here on
So
these
happy
couches.
to be here.
How are things in the People offices?
They're great. Busy as ever.
Good, because we have a lot to talk about today. So you are no stranger to this show, so you know how we start things over here. Top 5 time, right?
I'm excited.
Top 5. At number 5, in a sneak peek of next week's part 2 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Kyle calls out Camille for her conflicting remarks about Lisa Vanderpump. Kyle explains that she feels Camille is playing both sides, lamenting to the ladies about LVP's wrongdoings, and then going to Lisa full of empathy. Camille questioned why she can't feel both ways, and Dorit jumped in, calling Camille's actions contradictory. Then Teddy got involved, bringing up a specific instance where Camille said LVP has terrible breath and her gums are receding. Rude. Now, I guess we'll see how this all plays out next week, but Jodi, is Camille being contradictory? Do you think she's playing both sides of the coin for a reason, or is she just entitled to feel two ways about one person?
I think there's a difference between having two different opinions of being a flip-flopper, and I think Camille's a bit of a flip-flopper. I think she wants to please whichever person she's with, and we've seen her go along with both sides.
Yes.
So I think it is a little bit wrong. I think she just wants to be a people pleaser, and I think she wants to fit in. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for you to take a stand.
Yeah, take a side. And now that she has played both sides of the fence and Lisa's gone, she's probably like, oh, all that wasted energy sucking up to it for nothing.
She thought she was sucking up to the queen, but the queen
The
left.
queen has left the building. At number 4, talking of another queen, Bachelorette Hannah B is speaking up about her toxic relationship with Luke P following Monday night's episode where she sent him home after a heated argument about sex. Now, this was a moment many fans, myself included, have been waiting for as they watch the contentious relationship play out every week. Hannah told People.com, it's been difficult watching it back, but there's definitely a silver lining. I grew a lot from that relationship. I think every time you go through a difficult relationship, you realize more and more what you deserve and what you don't deserve. Additionally, Hannah hopes that having her experience play out in front of millions of viewers can help people who find themselves in a similar situation. She said, I'm getting to use my platform as the Bachelorette on my season to really make a change through my experience, and I'm glad if I can help anybody. Jodi, why do you think there is such a different conversation about sex on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette? Why is there such a discrepancy there?
I mean, I think unfortunately it's because there's a double standard. I think that when you have a man going into a fantasy suites with 3 women, it's looked at very differently as a woman going into fantasy suites with different men. You think, oh my gosh, a woman could never sleep with all of these men. But with a guy, you almost don't even think about it.
You just expect him to.
You just kind of expect him to.
Yes,
so
true.
I think that Hannah's done a really good job of speaking really honestly about sex. And I think it is changing the conversation, which is much needed.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought we'd had this conversation when Sex and the City aired around women and owning their sexuality, but Hannah B, she is blazing the torch once more.
I know. And I read a tweet that said, you know, Caitlyn Bristow had to walk so that Hannah could run. And I think it's so true. I think that we've kind of seen this evolution of women empowerment throughout the show. So I'm really excited to see where they go from here, because I'm just like, yes, finally, we're all on the same page with
Exactly.
this.
Ladies, own your sexuality. You're only young once. Take it from me. All right, at number 3, Steph Curry is standing up for his wife Ayesha after she was mocked for her Millie Rock dance in celebration of her new restaurant opening. Social media users were quick to criticize Ayesha's moves, asking, when do we get to stop watching this lady? Steph responded to the haters with an Instagram video in which he says, send me the video of you dancing at your restaurant opening. We're going to keep Millie rocking until that happens. Ayesha has yet to publicly comment on the backlash, but instead has shared photos of her new eatery, and the Curry family can currently be seen on Steph's new Facebook Watch watch series Stephen versus the Game, which will follow the Golden State Guard's life on and off the court. Now, we love a supportive partner here on Reality Check, especially when it's the guy supporting his wife. But, tell me, why do people feel the need to criticize everything that everybody does these days?
This one I really didn't understand at all. What's wrong with dancing? I'm pretty sure everybody in this world has gotten excited about something and started dancing. She opened a restaurant. That's a huge accomplishment. She deserves to dance. And for the people who were saying, when do we get to stop watching? There's an unfollow button right there.
You said it.
So I support the dancing. Everybody else can sit down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ayesha, congratulations on your restaurant.
Yes.
At number 2, Spencer Pratt has blocked his Hills New Beginnings co-star Brandon Lee on Instagram. Spencer posted a video yesterday on Twitter showing himself unfollowing and then blocking Brandon. Now, Spencer, of course, was part of the original Hills cast in the early 2000s, while Brandon, son of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, joined the cast for the reboot. Now, though the two are castmates, they've had limited contact, and most of Brandon's scenes have been filmed with Brody Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner's son. Now, Jodi, you broke this story on People.com. Can you give us any more insight into why this whole situation has unfolded?
I really can't tell you what the reasoning behind it was. Spencer hasn't said what it is. Like I said in the story, they haven't filmed a ton of scenes together. They've been at some parties, but most of Brandon's scenes have been with Brody. So clearly something behind the scenes went on, maybe something that will be on the show. But Spencer just went on a podcast and made it very clear. He said, I am not friends with these people in real life. And Spencer tells it like it is.
He really does. And I do respect him for that, for sure. But do you think maybe he's just a little bit intimidated because there's a hot new young thing on the show?
And Brandon Lee has some famous weight behind him, too.
He does.
Spencer likes to be the most famous one, and he's certainly not this season.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, hopefully we'll see it play out as the season continues.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm loving this reboot, by the way. And at number 1, in other Bachelorette news, fans will soon get some much-needed clarity on Hannah B's controversial frontrunner Jed Wyatt. According to Chris Harrison, the upcoming After the Final Rose live special will give the Nashville musician his first chance to speak out, since his ex-girlfriend told People that they were still in a relationship when he left to begin filming the show. Now, Jed recently alluded to the drama in an Instagram post asking viewers to reserve judgment, and Chris Harrison told People, I want to hear Jed's side of the story before we judge. I would like to hear from him. Now, contestants are traditionally barred from speaking publicly about their time on the show until the episode in which they eliminated airs. Now, here's the thing. It was been so long now since the story broke that he had a girlfriend. Do you think that by the time he gets the chance to have his say, people will even take his words into consideration, or has the die been cast?
I mean, I think people have kind of made up their minds. Unless Jed comes out and says this is absolutely not true, I don't really know how he's going to talk his way out of it.
I know, he needs like the receipts.
I know. And I mean, maybe he has them. I think Chris Harrison has a point. Don't judge too soon.
Of course.
We haven't heard him and what he has to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A part of me thinks it's true. I think it will also depend on what the outcome of the show is. Like, if he won, we don't know. And I think that'll change maybe the way people perceive things.
Definitely.
Because if he won and he essentially screwed over Hannah, people are not gonna be happy.
Oh my God, they will be out for blood.
It's going to be a riot.
On his part, it must be so frustrating to not be able to tell his side of the story and to go on for months knowing the truth and not being able to speak it. So I'm interested to hear his side of the story.
Yeah, I mean, it must be frustrating for him, but it's also frustrating for Hannah to possibly date somebody who was already dating somebody else.
I know, especially after everything she went through on Colton's season.
I know.
It's like, give the girl a break.
I know.
Well, let's chat Southern Charm, because last night we saw the gang head to Steamboat Springs for a vacation, and surprisingly it was Catherine who was the MVP of Good Behavior. Watch.
Weed was the reason that I lost my children for a little while. This is the first time I've been around it since I got back from rehab, and no one's even acknowledging it.
I don't want to be around it.
That must be a really difficult situation. Do you think her friend should have been more conscious of her custody situation and maybe stayed clear of the dispensary?
I'm a little torn on this. What we don't know is if she was asked ahead of time if it was okay or not. So maybe she said, hey, I'm okay with this, and then in the moment felt uncomfortable. Or if they didn't ask her, I think that's where it would have been wrong.
Yeah,
I think you do need to take that into consideration, in which case I totally understand her feeling kind of blindsided and uncomfortable. But then also, they drink around her, and she seems to be fine with them drinking. So there could be the assumption that this would fall kind of under that umbrella.
Yeah, I can see that, actually.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit torn.
Yeah.
But either way, I do think you got to just ask Catherine how she feels.
Yeah.
If she's given the green light for drinking but wants to shut down the weed, by all means, that's her call.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely loving this sort of Catherine 2.0 that we're seeing. We're seeing her mature a lot and make better financial decisions, and I'm just loving her evolution. And I think she's just like such a badass.
You know,
lady.
she said before this season that she was really excited to get out from under Thomas Ravenel's shadow, and I think she has done that in spades. Like, she is killing it.
She really is.
I love it.
Yeah, I love watching her. Well, also, what do we think is going on with Madison and Austin? Because there was a very cute but awkward but cute moment towards the end of last night's episode. We can watch that now, actually, if we like.
Pat my back.
Okay. Don't worry, your body's just great. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, what's going on? Do you think they're going to get back together?
I think these two just can't quit each other. You know, they've both said that they have this crazy connection that they can't really figure out. And I do think they're gonna get back together for better or worse, who knows?
Yep.
But I mean, the chemistry is there.
It's undeniable.
But whether it's a healthy relationship, that's to be seen.
Yeah, I think they're two people who confuse passion for drama and vice versa. So
you know, or lust for love.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Plenty more Southern Charm to come, and of course, we'll be covering it here, and you'll be covering it for People. So thank you so much for being here today, Jodi. It is always a pleasure having you in the studio. Guys, make sure you head to people.com for all of your entertainment news. We are going to take a very quick break, and when we get back, Remy Duran and Kari Snow from MTV's Are You the One will be here to talk all about last night's Love-In. Stay tuned.
No! Are you kidding me? One beam.
Welcome back to the show. It is time to chat about the groundbreaking new season of MTV's Are You the One, which sees 16 sexually fluid singles looking for love. Who better to break it all down with me than two of the show's stars, Kari Snow and Remy Duran. Welcome.
Hey.
It is so great to have you here in the studio. I've met two of your castmates, Paige and Kylie, and they were a delight. So we're thrilled that you could join us today as well to talk about last night's episode.
You know, that's what we're here for. You know, we gotta break it down.
Oh yeah, we gotta break it down because last night there were 5 in the bed. Let's check it out.
Jasmine, Kylie, and I were just like, who the is in the boom boom group? But then we all walk in there and it was just kind of hot. You know, so we all just kind of.
I mean, why not, man? You're only young once. So where were you guys when this was going on?
I was asleep.
You were asleep? Okay.
I was, you know, because, I mean, we alternated nights up. Like, some of us were up until like 5 a.m. one night, and then we couldn't do it again the next night. So then the other people who weren't, just happened to be, I guess, our night to be.
Yeah, I was asleep too, because
early.
as you could hear, my voice was so raspy. I got so sick, so I was just trying to sleep it off. Yeah, and then I remember I said to Kylie, I was like, oh, I'm going to bed early. Just meet me there later. And then you know what happened.
Did she ever come back to bed after that?
Nope.
Oh,
That's when I was like.
Oh, they all slept in there?
Well, she didn't sleep. I woke up and she wasn't there. So I was kind of like, that's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your reactions, like, how did you feel when you found out that this had happened?
Well, I found out from Terrence J. I was the last one to
jeez.
know.
Yeah.
Terrence J had to tell me.
Right.
So I was a little like, first, like, part of me was like, ooh, 5-something, that's really cool. And then another part was like, wait a minute, but I was lied to about this.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, it was like a really awkward situation because Kylie was like, no, you know, we're going to talk about it in private. And Carrie's like, no, we're going to talk about it now.
Yeah. Right.
Like, no, now.
I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, that was your goal, right? And you said a few times in the episode that you were pretty sure that Kylie is your perfect match. So do you think that you were able to get over this whole situation? Did you see it as cheating?
Well, me and Kylie had, communication. We were like, okay, if something happens, like, let's address it right away, and it was like, I don't want you to do something with someone else first, because we had never done that yet.
Right.
So that's really what the kicker was, and I wasn't approached by it.
Yeah.
And, I did say I made a promise, and I made it very clear. I was like, whoever my match is, I will try. I will work through anything. And her and I had that conversation. I said, if you're my match, we'll just have to look past this.
Right.
And I'll have to put my pride down.
Right.
And,
Right,
yeah.
'cause it was the second time Kylie.
It was the second time? Why? Who else had...
She made out with Noah when she was on a different date.
Oh, Oh!
Remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
Oh,
So yeah, her and Nora made out. And she came
That
to
one
me.
went over my head.
Yep. She came to me. She was like, hey, listen, this happened with Nora. And I wasn't thrilled about it, but I was like, okay. She told me, sat me down. It's cool. And then after that, I was just like,
oh, man. That'd be tough. That'd be really tough. And then let's talk about Max and Justin, because we definitely saw a more vulnerable side of Justin last night, but also a very flirty one, as witnessed by you, Remy. Let's take a look at that.
Look at Justin and Ayesha right there.
Max, your boyfriend is somebody else.
You're really bored, aren't you? You look like a hoe, bro.
You look like a slut to the entire house.
You better put your in a hole, because you like holes, bro.
Okay, so the fivesome, people seem to think, for the most part, was kind of funny and a bit of harmless fun, right? But then when it came to Max and Justin and their situation, Justin was kind of slut-shamed a little bit. Max even went so far as to call him a hoe. Do you think this is right? Like, do you think it's a double standard?
No, I mean, I think it's almost like I welcome this double standard, but there was 4 women and 1 guy involved in a big old fivesome, and none of the women were slut-shamed for once. And then, you know, a guy goes and makes out with a girl and he gets slut-shamed, and that's literally like, when does that ever happen in real life?
Right,
You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, you know what? That's equal rights right there.
Yeah. That's what we're fighting for.
That's what that's the future liberals want.
You know, I mean, I guess it's as a viewer, because we'd seen Justin be very honest with Max about wanting to explore as many options as possible in the house. So I can see why Max was upset, but I mean, it seemed like they just worked it out.
He's just one of the most emotional people I think we've ever met. And
Right.
we're also emotional people, but Max is just that's one of the reasons why I love that big little goof.
Yeah.
Is because he just gets, and like I said, like it's I understand him in a way, because like it was hard for me to kind of open up about my sexuality and allow myself to be vulnerable to another man, especially because like when you see him laying next to Justin, he's always like the little spoon.
Right.
He's always laying on him, and I even have a problem. I've been out for years and years and years, and I still, even if I'm dating someone like bigger than me, I'm like, I'm the next
I want to be the next one.
Yeah, you better,
Right.
you know. So I see how difficult it is. So maybe it's easier for me to be empathetic towards Max in that way. And like, you know, even Justin he just revealed how intense his abandonment issues are.
Yeah, we
so
really
you know,
saw that,
I was kind of we were both at the time, we were both on like, she didn't like it. She's like, no, I don't see it. I was like, I'm so for it.
Right.
You know?
yeah, we were definitely very split. Like at this point, Remy's like, yeah, Max and Justin, I totally see being a match. I'm just like, no, there's no way.
Oh, interesting.
Because I mean, like, I know Max and Justin. I think they're both great people, and they deserve great people, but not each other.
Well, okay, so who do you
didn't
think would
see
be
it.
a better fit for Max then?
I really, at this point, I'm like, I don't even know. I'm just kind of like at first I was like, oh, that's cute, you know, they're doing their thing, and now their true colors, like on how they are in relationships, is coming out, and I'm just like, I just don't see it. I don't think it's healthy, personally. And I think a lot of what we're seeing even on Twitter is half the people are like, Max and Justin are a match, and half the people are like, no, they're not. And that's how it was in the house, too. It was very down the middle.
And it always is, because it was like, it's either people are team Max and Justin or people are team Amber and Noor.
Right.
And I was not team Amber and Noor. That was when I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, no, absolutely not. I was like, no way.
Right.
And I saw Max and Justin, and I was like, yeah. So, and I think, were you?
I was Amber and Noor. I was team Amber and Noor.
And so it was like, you know, at that point I was also like, I wasn't team Kylie and Carrie either.
I was just gonna ask you.
No, I wasn't. I didn't see it. I was just like, no, I don't really see it, you know. But I was also, it was also like, I didn't really know, because again, I was like, it's almost to the halfway mark. So but like still before that, I'm like, I'm not really putting all my eggs in any basket, but I was fully on the Max and Justin.
Well, here's the thing though, 1 beam last night, okay? So, I mean, this is quite shocking. And so what do you think you guys need to do as a group in order to make sure that next week there are more beams? Like, do you think that TJ had a point when he said that people are sort of sticking in things that they know are not quite right, or having, you know, sort of ADD when it comes to these relationships?
I mean, I agreed with Terrence in the way that like, there was so many people who were so sure about their matches. And like, I was someone, I hadn't sat with anybody the same the entire time. Like, I sat with somebody different every single time.
Right.
And, you know, I wasn't even playing with sort of my head or my heart at the time, because like, I obviously went on a date with Paige, and I had a huge crush on her, but like, she didn't show interest. So I wasn't about to be someone who's like, well, I have interest in you, and I didn't want to be a Jonathan.
Right.
And like, pick someone who obviously wasn't interested in me. I didn't want to get up there and like look like Boo Boo the Fool. Like, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, I was just trying to feel everybody out. So it was, I didn't know. Carrie had a better idea of planning. She's the more strategic one.
Yeah, you can even see like in the beginning of the last week's episode, I was like, okay, me and Kylie, like, I think we're a beam. I don't want to go on that honeymoon suite because I don't want to black out.
Yeah.
So I was just very strategy. So when Terrence, kind of broke it down, I was like, okay, there were 2 beams. Now there's 1. Who were those 2 beams? How can we find them? How can we keep them here so we're not blacking out?
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm here to win. I'm here to play. I'm like, game on.
And you're here to find love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, needless to say, we cannot wait for next week's episode, and we definitely hope that there'll be plenty more beams. We are going to go to break right now. But when we come back, we'll be bringing you our Reality Bite segment where Remy, Kari, and I are going to talk about the biggest moments of the week, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. It is now time for our Reality Bite segment where we take a look back at all the moments from the week that had us LOLing or OMGing. Enjoy.
This is my first fantasy suite. A little nervous. We are completely entangled in every single way.
I would like to hold you with my teeth.
You want to hold me in your teeth?
I've had some really strange things requested on preference sheets, but I've never had a request for blow-up dolls. But the fact that she's giving it to her stepson on his birthday in front of his wife, like, my stepmother usually just gets me a bottle of wine and some chocolates.
You got that in your mouth? What? Please, put me down.
Let those flavors just blend in.
Let those flavors marry.
Marinate.
Don't tell me to get the out of your face. All of a sudden now you can't talk. Everybody's supposed to bow down. Oh, I can't talk about it. Karma is a honey.
You told me you're having sex or you had sex with one or multiple of these guys. Now I'd be wanting to go home.
The sexiest roomie in the house is Gillette's. Hands down, turn around, spin it, drop it downtown.
So, like, I have had sex.
Say what?
All of a sudden, some girl comes in with her out, and I'm like, thank you, can we get some more champagne?
Do you not usually drink?
Not really.
He's not a big fan of fun.
Wow.
Oh my God, he's been so fun with me.
I finally figured it out for myself. I'm just, like, relieved. I never have to deal with him again.
All right, guys, what were some of your favorite moments from this week? There was a lot to choose from.
I actually saw that Bachelorette clip when it came on with my mom, and she like broke down the whole thing about how the guy was like, just like such a jerk, and just like, and she was like, I actually had sex with twice in the windmill. I was like, she better go off.
Yeah.
She better go off. She better live and own her truth.
I know. It felt really good to see her say goodbye to him and give him the finger because that must have felt so cathartic to her after all the crap that he's put her through this season.
Yeah.
Carrie, what about you?
I love that Ex on the Beach clip where she was like, oh, but he's really fun with me.
Yeah.
I was like, that is awesome, girl, yes.
Yeah, Aubrey's amazing. We interviewed her yesterday and she was like, I thought it was the waitress. And then all of a sudden I was like, what? It's his ex? Are you kidding me? So yeah, a lot of good stuff this week for sure. But I think for me personally, my favorite was seeing Luke P finally get sent home because he has caused a lot of drama. He's caused a lot of good TV, but a lot of drama.
I know, it's like I saw a clip of him like with his shirt off on like the preview of like some next episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's always the one with the really great boobs. Always the biggest jerks, and it's like,
well,
you know
I think that's why she liked him for so long. She was blinded by his abs.
I feel ya.
We've all been there.
It's no excuse for slut shaming.
No, never. Well, it is time for one last break, but we are coming back with another great history moment, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Here's another golden moment in reality TV history. Enjoy.
You doing okay?
Today I'm going to jail, and I just want to get it over with and never have to worry about it again.
In this 2008 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloé is headed to jail for violating her probation from a previous DUI arrest.
This is kind of serious. We have 10 minutes.
Mom, suck my...
On the way, Khloé keeps her cool, while Rob is completely clueless.
Were you not going to call me to say ta-ta?
What am I talking about?
Your sister's going to jail. Have a little compassion.
Chris is clearly worried sick, and Kim, well, Kim just can't stop being Kim.
Kim, would you stop taking pictures of yourself? Your sister's going to jail.
The Kardashian family perp ride is one of the greatest moments in reality history. And if you're wondering how Khloé fared in jail, she was released within 3 hours due to overcrowding.
I feel like I'm gonna barf. Good, throw up.
Well, look, the good thing is if any other of the Kardashian or Jenner clan gets arrested again, Kim will be a lawyer soon, so she can get them out of jail.
Yeah, she'll get him out in less than 3 hours.
Exactly, exactly. Well, that is it for today's show. I want to say a big thank you to People writer Jodi Gugliemi and, of course, Remy and Kari from MTV's Are You the One? You guys are a delight. Thank you for being here. Please remember to watch their show on MTV Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, you can also catch Reality Check on Twitter every day at 4:30 p.m. Eastern by following @People. I am Lindsay Rodriguez, and I will check you next week. Guys, thank you.